Hi, this is Andrew Taylor. I'm your instructor for Introduction to Technology and Arts Management, and this is a short presentation about the assignment, How Things Work. I'm going to talk you through what I expect from the assignment and the pieces you'll need to assemble to present your own. As you'll see in the syllabus, each of you is going to present on a different technology, which I'll assign you, and we'll talk a little bit about what that assignment will be, and I'll give you an example of what one would look like. But first, let's touch on what the goals are for this assignment. One of the big ones is that we all learn individually and together about essential technologies that shape our world in general and arts and entertainment in particular. So these are technologies that may not be specific to arts and culture, but deeply impact the way arts and culture is presented, produced, managed, and connected with an audience. Second, I want you to be able to practice describing and explaining complex technologies to a group of people. This is something you'll have to do over and over again in your life, whether you're a technologist or not. So this is the first shot to do it on your own. So each slide presentation will be created by you on a slide deck of your choosing. You can use PowerPoint or Keynote or Prezi, anything that allows you to create a recorded presentation with audio commentary. And each slide deck will have 5 slides in it. So easy as that. The first slide will be a definition. So what is this technology? How can I describe it? What is its name? What is its definition? A second slide is going to give us the history or context. So where did it come from? What's its origin? What's its evolution? This will be important stuff for you to find. Number 3, so what purpose or problem does it solve and for whom? That's a tricky one sometimes to figure out because often technologies are used for a different reason than their original intent. The fourth slide will be, can I say it or show it another way? So what image, idea, example would make this clear to my audience? Because some of these technologies can be quite complex. And then finally, so what? Why should anybody care about this, in particular anybody in arts and entertainment? So let's give an example of these 5 slides, and the 5 slides we're going to use is the Internet Protocol. This will be my example. So our next slide will be our first slide, which is the definition slide. So Internet Protocol, or IP, is a bundle of rules used to transmit information from one computer to another through a network. Now, the word protocol is a word that means an official procedure or system of rules governing affairs of state or diplomatic occasion. So you hear in political world about protocol. This is a protocol for computers to speak to each other. This protocol came from an initial paper by these 2 gentlemen, Bob Kahn and Vint Cerf, in 1974. The paper was for the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, and the paper was called A Protocol for Packet Network Intercommunication. So their challenge was, how do we create a new protocol that lets information flow across the complex network? Which is part of our third slide, which is about the purpose and problem. Internet Protocol solves this particular problem, how to transmit information over a potentially unstable and erratic network of independent computers. Back in the 70s, there were many large computers spread across the country, and they were connected through erratic networks that weren't always working, and the computers themselves weren't always working. And there was actually a concern evolving through the Cold War about some part of this network going down and the need for the system to work anyway. So Internet Protocol was a way of breaking information into a bunch of pieces, sending it across an erratic network, and having those pieces assemble, whether or not every part of that network was working. So let's talk about another way. Let's say it, show it another way. So imagine this is a bunch of different people on different networks, and one of these people has an Internet Protocol address, which is how the Internet Protocol works, of 123.43.24.1. This would be an address behind a domain name. So nowadays you just type in a domain name like google.com. That points you to an IP, so you don't have to worry about these complex numbers. So let's say I wanted to send a file or a message or an email from one IP to another. And this other one is called 10.15.123.2. Now what happens is the Internet Protocol breaks this message or file up into a bunch of different pieces, and it bundles it with information about where it's going. And then eventually it finds its way through any number of networks to come back together at this other computer and reassemble. So the information within the protocol both helps it break it into pieces and helps those pieces find their way to their final host, and then helps those pieces reassemble into a final file or message. It sounds very complicated, but let's talk about so what. So Internet Protocol actually allowed for the birth and growth of a little computer network we like to call the Internet. So this was the basis for everything that made the internet possible. It created a super network of supercomputers across the United States and around the world. And Internet Protocol is the very same thing right now that's helping information get from me to you through a complex and erratic network. So that's it. That is a 5-slide How Things Work presentation. You're going to create one of these yourself, remembering that you need first a definition, second some history and context, 3 purpose or problem, 4 a way of saying it or showing it another way, and then finally leaving us with a message of so what? Why should I care? If you have questions about this assignment, I encourage you to email me, give me a call, set up some office hour times. We want you to be successful. This can be a fun and fantastic way for you to learn about new technology, but also learn how to share technology with other people. Thanks very much.